Hello, in this video we show the location and how to remove and replace the crankshaft pulley on Audi A6 C6 2 liters TDI PD. The serpentine belt and the crankshaft pulley on this car are located on the front of the engine. They are located right there. The crankshaft pulley is the bottom pulley right there. To get access to the crankshaft pulley, we need to put the whole front end into service position, so that means first we need to remove the front bumper. First we'll start by removing everything holding the bumper on top. There's 3 bolts for the bumper here on top, one of them is down there, and then there's 2 bolts on each side. In my case there's no bolts, there is cable ties put on instead of the bolts, but in your case it will be bolts. When I remove those cable ties, then we're going to remove the 2 bolts, the 2 nuts holding the bumper on this side. To remove the nuts, first we need to remove the bolts holding this wheel arch liner and put the wheel arch liner to the side so that we can get enough access to get to the nuts on both sides. If the video is useful, please like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Now we're going to push in the wheel arch liner and we'll see where the location of the nut is that we need to take out. The nut is located right there. It's size 10 socket. To get to that nut we need a long extension and maybe electric ratchet. So if you don't have electric ratchet, no ratchet will do, but we need long extension. Now we do the same on the other side. First we remove the bolts for the wheel arch liner, we'll push it to the side and then take out the nut. Next I'll show you the location of the nut. The nut is located just down there. Just give it a light for a little bit. You can see it's located right there. Now I'm going to remove that nut. Next I'm going to go underneath the car and remove the engine under tray if there is one. In my case there is no engine under tray. We'll just check if the bumper is held on somewhere else on the bottom. In my case it's not held anywhere else. So next we're going to take out the bumper. Here you can see the bumper is out. Now there is the only thing left to unplug is the electrical connectors on the 2 sides. And once the electrical connectors are disconnected, we can take out the bumper. Next we're going to remove the headlights. The headlights are held by 3 bolts, one down there, one here and one here on the side. We'll remove those 3 bolts and the same on the other headlight. Now that the bolts are removed, we're going to take out the headlight and disconnect the electrical connector. To disconnect the electrical connector, we need to push this tab in, and then we just pry out the connector. And that's the headlight out. Now we're going to remove the other headlight as well. Next we're going to remove this metal crash plate. It's held by 4 bolts, 2 on here, on this side, and 2 on the other side. Okay, now we're going to remove those 4 bolts. Now that the 4 bolts are removed, I'm going to take out this metal plate and put it to the side. Next I'm going to remove the bolts holding this housing that holds the radiator. I'm going to remove the bolts holding it so that I can bring it forward. These are the bolts that I need to remove. Those 3 bolts on this side. Also we need to remove those 3 bolts on that side. Also we need to remove the 2 screws holding this air intake pipe. And also we need to remove those 4 bolts, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, and then the nut over there, and also on that side 4 bolts and that nut as well. We'll start by removing those bolts and the nut on the 2 sides. Next we're going to remove the 2 screws holding the air intake pipe. Next we're going to remove the 3 bolts on this side and the 3 bolts on the other side. We can see the whole thing is starting to get loose, but there is still some things we need to remove before being able to bring it forward. First we need to remove this air intake hose. We need to loosen that metal clamp and also this intercooler hose as well. loosen again this clamp and just take out the hoses. Next we need to get long screwdrivers to put them in there, into that hole, so that we can slide the whole front end onto them. We'll put this screwdriver in there and the other screwdriver on the other side. Like I said, on these screwdrivers, we're going to slide the whole front end onto them. But before being able to slide the front end, we need to remove this bolt as well, which is still holding the front end, and that bolt as well. They're just next to the radiator hoses. Now that everything is removed, we can just slide the whole front end onto the screwdrivers. We need to slide them as much as possible so that we can get enough access to replace the timing belt. We can see on this side we're not able to bring it forward much because this hose is in our way. So we're going to remove the metal clamp for the hose and remove the hose, and then we should have no problem to bring forward the whole front end. Here we can see the front end came out enough, so now we should have enough space to do timing belt or crankshaft pulley or whatever you need to be done. Here you can see now how much space there is to do our job. Next we're going to remove the serpentine belt. To remove the serpentine belt, this is the tensioner right there that we need to turn so that we can loosen the belt. This is the wrench that I'm using, size 16. We're going to put it on the bolt of the tensioner pulley, and once we turn it, we're going to put that pin into the two holes to hold it steady in place so that we can remove the belt. Okay, once we turn it now, we're going to put that pin into those holes, and now we'll be able to remove the belt. I'll show you a closer view of where I put that pin in there, and you can see now the belt is loose and I can remove the belt. Next we're going to remove this timing belt upper cover. It's held by those metal clamps. Next we're going to remove the crankshaft pulley. To remove the crankshaft pulley, there is first some rubber cover on the front of it that we need to just pull out. And behind that cover are the 4 bolts holding the crankshaft pulley. I'll show you a closer view of the 4 bolts. These are the 4 bolts, and there is a center bolt also to so that we can turn the crankshaft pulley or to hold the crankshaft pulley from turning while we try to loosen the bolts. This is the socket size 19 that I'm going to use to hold the crankshaft pulley. While I hold the crankshaft with this long ratchet and size 19 socket, next I'm going to try to loosen the 4 bolts holding the pulley, and to loosen the bolts I'm using this M10 socket. First I'm going to loosen the 4 bolts with the ratchet, and then I'm going to take them out with the electric ratchet. That's the 4 bolts holding the crankshaft pulley out. Next I'm going to take out the crankshaft pulley. And that's the crankshaft pulley out. Next I'm going to put back on the crankshaft pulley. I'm going to put it in its place and put on the 4 bolts and tighten them. After I put on the 4 bolts, first I'm going to tighten them with the electric ratchet, and then I'm going to get the long wrench to hold the center bolt while I tighten them to specs. The tightening torque for the 4 bolts on the crankshaft pulley are 10 Nm plus 90 degrees. Once I tighten the 4 bolts, then I'm going to put the serpentine belt back on, and then I'm going to put everything else back. At the end of the video I'm going to show you the routing of the serpentine belt. After you put on the serpentine belt, you can assemble everything else in the reverse order. Hopefully the video was helpful. Please like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.